Welcome to Sports Clinic with Dr. El Grande. As always, I'm your host, Dr. El Grande. Today's topic is SummerSlam predictions. Here on our show to discuss the subject is featured columnist for the Bleacher Report, Luis Campos.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, let's get down to business. There are 8 matches on the card, including the pre-show. What are your predictions for the whole event?
I wrote an article about this earlier in the week, and I said that this was probably going to be the worst pay-per-view of the year. Now, I still stand by this prediction, but I'm willing to be proven wrong.
Whoa. Worst pay-per-view of the year? Now, I'm not entirely sure about this. We've had some pretty bad pay-per-views already, and you can always count on WWE making things worse for themselves in the future. Now, as for SummerSlam, I actually think there's some great matches on the card. Uh, Dolph versus Jericho, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, how can you not be excited about that?
I'll give you that Dolph versus Chris Jericho is probably going to be good, but that's probably it. That's the only thing that merits having this pay-per-view.
Alright, whatever. Let's talk about matches on the card. Predictions for winners, for losers. Uh, Santino Marella versus Antonio Cesaro. Who do you think is going to take this?
I don't know. I'd like to see Cesaro have a belt around him. I think he has a lot of character, both as a performer and great skills as a wrestler. But I also wouldn't like to see him get his first championship during the pre-show. I mean, I know the U.S. Championship belt isn't worth that much nowadays, but it should probably still have some prestige. Um, if WWE is smart, they'll probably book this, giving the match to Santino, and then once the Night of Champions comes around, have Cesaro take the whole thing.
Alright. I agree with you in one thing. I'd like to see Cesaro have a championship with them. But I think Night of Champions is too far along the road. I think he needs that championship now. I think Santino has already ruined it enough. My prediction for this is Cesaro wins tonight. Okay, the next match on the card. Tag team championships on the line. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus the Primetime Players. And I just gotta say, I love these guys. I love what their character, their gimmick. A little sad that their manager, AW, isn't around with them. Who do you think takes it? Do you think these young guns finally get their championship, or do you think Kofi Kingston and R-Truth will keep it around?
I agree with you here. I like the primetime players. I think Darren Young and Titus O'Neil are very funny. They have a lot of charisma, which is really important in a performer. I'd like to see them take it. Besides, I think Kofi Kingston and R-Truth have had the titles long enough. I don't see them being the resurrection of the division, and I think a real tag team like the Primetime Players deserves a championship, and I'd like to see them go on a feud against Primo and Epico or Tyler Rex and Hawkins after this. Uh, I say Kofi and R-Truth, they've had it for long enough.
I'm gonna disagree with you here. Now, as much as I love the primetime players, I don't know if they're entirely ready to have the belts around their waist. I say maybe around Night of Champions, uh, Raw, SmackDown. I think tonight's card is going to be too full, and if they win the championships, it might take away from the attention they should receive. All right, next match: The Miz versus Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Who do you think wins this one?
SummerSlam is known for having great intercontinental chip matches. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be one of them. I'm not even excited about it. I think it really came out of nowhere. Um, the Miz is probably going to keep the championship for a little bit longer, but I could see this going either way, and frankly, I really don't care. But just for the sake of giving you an answer, I say the Miz wins.
All right, it looks like we agree on this one. You know, I really don't care about this match that much either. But I think the Miz should win only because there's a lot of faces right now who have championships, and you gotta have at least one heel with the championship. I mean, it's wrestling. The good guys can't win everything. Okay, next match: Kane versus Daniel Bryan. Again, who do you think is gonna win this one?
Well, this one's hard again. Because I really don't care. I mean, I've already seen versions of this match. Sure, CM Punk was involved, and now it's just the two of them, just Kane and Daniel Bryan. And I know the two of them are capable of putting a great match together, but it just seems tacked on. Um, no real potential here. I mean, this is gonna sound stupid, but I'd be more excited seeing Charlie Sheen out there making a clown of himself than seeing this match again.
So no winner here.
Um, I don't know, Daniel Bryan, I guess.
I think you're a little crazy here for not being on the yes bandwagon. Anytime I can see Daniel Bryan in the ring, I'm excited. Sure, we've seen this match already, but I think it's going to be a good one. Um, and I'll agree with you. I'll give it to Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan has what it takes to bring down the Big Red Monster. Next match, Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio for the Heavyweight Championship. Um, this match was originally canceled, then put on again, then canceled, then put on again. I'm confused, and I guess most people are confused why it's still going on. Um, anyways, it's still gonna happen. Who do you think wins, Alberto Del Rio or Sheamus?
Again, do I even care? Does it matter? Why does the WWE keep showing us matches we've already seen? I've seen Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio like 40 times already. You know, if they want to make this exciting, and as much as I know people out there are gonna hate me for saying this, Alberto Del Rio has to win this. If not, what's the point? What's the point of showing us a match we've already seen, unless the outcome is different?
I agree with you. I think this is too predictable, but the WWE likes to be predictable. And I don't think they're gonna give this to Alberto Del Rio. I think Sheamus is gonna win it and probably go on to feud against Randy or a returning Wade Barrett. Sadly, it's gonna be same old, same old. All right, this is the match I'm most excited about, and you're probably excited about this: Dolph Ziggler versus Chris Jericho. Uh, the two have had a short feud over the past couple of weeks, but it's interesting. I'm excited about this, and I know Dolph is such a great performer. Of course, Chris Jericho is going to be great. Who do you think is going to win this one?
You know, talk about predictable. Um, I know this is going to be a great match, but we all know Chris Jericho is going to leave in a little bit. We know he's not going to be around, and there's no real reason for him to win this. I mean, and he said this in the past that he has no reason for to win any more matches in the WWE. He's in that mode where he's happy putting other guys over, and he's still entertaining even if he doesn't win. So he doesn't have to win this, and I don't think he will win this. I think Dolph Ziggler is going to take this, and then he's going to cash the Money in the Bank contract pretty soon.
I don't necessarily agree with you with the idea that Chris Jericho doesn't have to win any more matches, although that certainly seems to be the case. Um, but just for the sake of nostalgia, I'd like to see Chris Jericho win one. I mean, since his return, I don't think he's won any matches at a pay per view. I know he's leaving, but I don't care. I want to see him win. All right, next match: The Big Show versus John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Who wins this one?
You know, talk about been there, done that. We've seen versions of this match. We've seen John Cena versus The Big Show, CM Punk versus John Cena. But frankly, you know, this is the WWE Championship match. I don't care about it. I hope CM Punk wins. Only because it's the smart choice. It's a smart business choice. There's no reason for the Big Show to have a championship ever for the rest of his career. The same goes for John Cena. You know, I think I could go another year without having him with the championship. I say heck, let CM Punk keep it. And sadly, that just adds to how predictable this is gonna be.
I think you're wrong. I think the Big Show's gonna win this. Just kidding, just kidding. The Big Show's not gonna win this, and of course John Cena's not gonna win this. I think if he is gonna win a match, a WWE Championship match, it's gonna be next month at Night of Championships. It's in his hometown. We know how much WWE likes giving championships to people in their hometowns. He doesn't win this. Big Show doesn't win this. CM Punk wins it. We all know it. And that's what makes this match, which should be an interesting match, boring. Alright, last match on the card. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. This should have happened much earlier in my opinion, but it's happening now even though it's been poorly booked. Who do you think wins this one?
Alright, so these are the two different possible scenarios going on in my head. Either Brock Lesnar wins this, he goes on to become the most dominant heel we've seen in a while, and Triple H goes back to being a ponytailed yuppie and disappears. Or Triple H wins this, feeds his ego, Brock Lesnar still gets paid for, basically showing up every once in a while, and fizzles out eventually. There's two scenarios. Of course, I'd like to see Brock Lesnar win. Not only because I'd like to see him more involved with the WWE. I think the WWE is lacking big, strong heels. Even though the Big Show is supposed to be fulfilling that role, whatever, he's not. If this was up to me, if I was in charge of booking, I'd have Brock Lesnar win it because it's a smart choice. It's just smart.
I agree with you that having Brock Lesnar win this is smart. But this is Triple H we're talking about, and I don't care if it's worth $1 million. I know he's a smart guy, but he also has a huge ego, and I think he's in a position to put himself over more than he already is, and I actually see him winning over Brock Lesnar. I think he's just that kind of guy who would book that sort of match. Well, there you have it. That's our predictions for all the announced matches on this card. There are probably going to be extra matches like there always are. I'd say Damien Sandow versus Brodus Clay will probably be added, or Sin Cara versus Cody Rhodes. We all know they're going to be added anyways. But since we don't have any idea of whether they'll be on, we won't discuss those. Thank you for being on the show, Luis. Is there any final words you'd like to say?
Yeah, sure. It's been a pleasure talking about wrestling with you. I'm not excited about this pay-per-view. I'm probably gonna watch it anyways. I'm a sucker, diehard fan, whatever. Thanks for having me again. It was lots of fun. For those listening, please check out my articles at the Bleacher Report, where I write about wrestling. And if you have a Twitter, follow me at Lucha Libre Life. Alright, thanks for having me on the show, Dr. Ogande.
Thanks for being on the show. That's all for now. Join us in the future. Thank you.